Hi everyone, today in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you the corner to corner crochet technique. Alright, so first thing that we're going to do is make a starting loop. And for any of the stitches involved in this technique, if they're going too fast, you can definitely have a look at my stitch tutorial playlist. Okay, so we're going to chain 6. Just yarn over, pull through your loop. We're going to do this for 6 chains. In the 4th chain from the hook, we're going to work a double crochet stitch. So yarn over your hook, push it through that 4th chain, yarn over, pull up a loop. Got your 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. And then we're going to double crochet into the next chain. And by the way, and double crochet into the following. When we worked into that 4th chain, it left 3 chains, which counts as a double crochet here. So it's like we have 4 double crochets right now. We're going to turn our work, and this little square that we just made is the first corner in our corner to corner stitch here. So if you're making a blanket, for example, you're going to be working outwards from the corner. So we turned our work, we're going to chain 6 again. And we're going to work our double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. And another double crochet in the next. And then one more double crochet in that last chain. All right. Now we're going to go over to this chain space from the last row, and we're going to slip stitch around it. Chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. And then we're going to work 3 more double crochets around that same chain space from the previous row. Okay, so there's our first corner, and now we're working up and expanding our rows as we go. So now we're going to turn our work, chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to double crochet into that 4th chain from the hook. Double crochet into the next chain. And double crochet into that last chain space, which gives us our 4 double crochets because the chain 3 counts. We're going to go to the next chain 3 space from our previous row, slip stitch around it, chain 3, which counts as our double crochet, and we're going to work 3 more double crochets around that same chain space. We're going to go to the next chain 3 from the previous row and slip stitch around that. And chain 3. And then work 3 double crochet around that same chain space. So you can start to see it taking shape here. We're going to turn our work. And we're going to repeat these steps again for our next row with our chain 6 and double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook and the following 2 chains. Now I'm going to work a couple of rows of just expanding our work because I would like to also show you, of course, if I'm showing you the corner to corner technique, I will see you through as though you're using it to make a blanket. Of course, this is a great stitch for a lot of different projects, but definitely most popular for a blanket. Okay. So we're going to go to that next chain 3 space from our previous row, slip stitch around it, chain 3, and work our 3 double crochets around that same space. And we're going to continue this all the way across into around each of the chain 3 spaces from the previous row. Now, as you can see, the way that we're working our corner to corner, it continues to expand the size with each row that we work. Okay, so what I'll be showing you as well in this video is how you can stop the expanding. Of course, if you're working a perfect square, you'd be doing that on both ends at the same time, but usually for a blanket, it's more of a rectangle shape, so you'd be stopping one end first and then continuing to expand the other end, and then you would stop that one. So I'm going to be showing you assuming that you're using this to make a blanket. All right, so let's keep on going. This is still going to be another expanding row here. Just wanted to get a few more rows in there so that when I do show you how to stop one end, it's a little bit more clear. Okay, so as you can see, let's take a look at it so far. So as I mentioned, we're working from our corner up and out. So you can see each row expanding as we go. And funny enough, so we're on row 4 and we have 4 little squares that we've worked. So we're going to keep on going. Let's turn our work and make our chain 6 to begin the next row. And work our double crochet into that 4th chain from the hook. And then double crochet into each of the next 2 chains. Okay, slip stitch around that next chain 3 space from our previous row, chain 3, double crochet around that same chain space 3 more times. And we're going to work our slip stitch around the next chain space from our previous row, chain 3, and work our 3 double crochets around that same chain space. Okay, and we're going to continue on working down the row. Now this row is the one where I'm going to be showing you how we're going to stop expanding on one end of our work. So we want to make our way to the end of our row here, but we're not going to complete it the same way we have been. Okay, so here we are at the end of our row. And as I mentioned, this is the part where we're going to stop expanding at one end. We're going to stop here, and then you'll be able to continue expanding the length. So right now we're going to stop the width and we're going to continue expanding the length. So we're going to slip stitch around that chain 3 space, but we're going to immediately turn our work, and we're going to work our way to the next chain 3 space by slip stitching into each of these stitches. And we're going to slip stitch around that next chain 3 space from the previous row. Okay, so you can see that we've stopped. We've now turned our second corner here. And now we're going to continue expanding. Now we'll work our chain 3. So we're beginning this next row with a chain 3 instead of a chain 6 because we're not expanding anymore. And then we're going to work our double crochet around that same chain 3 space, and then again another 2 more times. Okay, and now we're going to slip stitch around that next chain 3 space from our previous row and continue working the rest of the row here as usual. So do our chain 3 and then double crochet 3 times around that same chain space. And again with the next one, slip stitch around that chain 3 space from the previous row, work chain 3 and then 3 double crochets around the same space. And because we're working a rectangle shape, so we're continuing to expand the length, we're going to end this row the way that we were. So you're going to slip stitch around that last chain 3 space, work your chain 3, and then make your 3 double crochet stitches around that same chain space. Okay. You can see that starting to take shape where we have finished the width and we're continuing the length. So we're going to turn our work and chain 6. And you'll just continue on the same way until you reach the desired length that you would want, and then you would stop it the way that we stopped the width. All right. I hope that you've enjoyed this video tutorial and learned a new stitch technique. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and have a look at the links in the description below.